man. 122 pounder, 10-5, man. Watch the Goodfellas Sports TV, bro.
You guys come from Walker, Wisconsin. Watch
Goodfellas Sports.
Goodfellas boxing.
All right, man. Ripping and running and running and ripping. When people would say, man, our parents were just saying anything. What's ripping and running? What's ripping and running? I came from the era we ain't question what your parents said. But nonetheless, hoping I got enough gas to make it back to the city so I ain't got to pay suburban prices. But yeah, man, I want to talk about this, dude. I was told y'all this video was coming. I don't know when I'm gonna post it. But whenever you see it, if it's Monday or Sunday or Monday, you will see it. Damn, the garage sale. We got out there. That's for chairs. I be looking for vintage video games. But nonetheless, now what's the funny thing about it is you got Jaron Ennis who's starting to get a cult like following. All right, it is not because how Errol Spence got his cult following was he brought a whole city that wasn't accustomed to being consistently in boxing, or it stayed in general. Shout out to the Charlo twins, Errol Spence, Ammo Williams, and all the other fighters that's there. I mean, fighters of the past like Julio Diaz that did it out of Texas. I mean, you just keep going on and on and on. James Kirkland, you have some really good fighters. Donald Curry come out of Texas. Just in general, I think he came out of Dallas too. You know, they really wasn't accustomed this generation. Pretty much Errol Spence introduced Texas, reintroduced like the Dallas, Texas area, Charlotte, all them back into boxing. And what's so funny is a lot of Philadelphia people, they like Errol Spence against Terence Crawford, right? Because when you hear them kind of talk about how Terence Crawford and boots and all that type of stuff, they don't really bring up Errol Spence and boots. Now, if Errol Spence get past Terence Crawford, which is not out the realm of possibility, okay, it can happen. Or let's say whatever happens, you know, they don't fight, they do fight, it's a draw, he lose, but next up he come back like many other fighters have, regain the title, and then Boots come up to 54. You know, they gonna push for that fight. They gonna push for that fight. So it's gonna be interesting seeing when the Spence in a Jaron Ennis fan base clash. It's not really gonna be interesting per se for Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis, because obviously a lot of Philadelphia people and a lot of ones support him too. Let me not say that, but a nice part of Philadelphia don't really mess with Terence Crawford off of something that happened in the amateurs with Ray Robinson, right? Because Terence Crawford and his people try to jump Ray Robinson, which it's the city of brotherly love. So, you know, if your brother fight right, wrong, in between, you right. So I'm not holding them. I'm not mad about that. You know what I'm saying? I try to pick boxing from a logical point of view. You know, if it's, you know, 50-50, then you start, you know, going with emotions then. You know, or you can't decide. You say, oh, I'm going to lean towards him. Everything even. I'm just going to go with my gut or go with my heart. Fine. They both kind of like emotion. So, but it's going to be interesting seeing when Jaron Ennis fan base clash with Errol Spence, when that time comes for them to get it on. Now, they already built it up with Gilly the Kid, you know, FaceTiming, you know, with Jaron Ennis FaceTiming Errol Spence and all that type of stuff. And obviously, Jaron Ennis got a long way to prove to be on the level of Errol Spence. You know, but right now he passing the eye test and he passing the physical test with flying colors. You know, and it's gonna be interesting when it's time to come and Errol Spence start treating Jaron Ennis like Terence Crawford. You know what's gonna be said about Errol Spence. So I feel like a lot of them dudes up in Philly, and then, you know, a lot of them support Errol Spence over Terence Crawford off of that incident with Ray Robinson. Now it's probably a portion of them, of the new generation, that support him, you know, probably because they pro PBC. I mean, J-Rock, Stephen Fulton, probably, you know, the most talented all-around boxer that PBC got, and I say that. You know, he is the most talented PBC fighter, in my humble opinion. Okay, but you know, it's gonna be interesting. You know, I think that's why it's a vested interest as well. And then obviously it's the new generation with the internet, how people don't like Crawford because he don't give interviews, and you know, is he from Nebraska? Who really from Nebraska? They're not a happy for boxing historically and all that type of stuff. So, you know, once Crawford kind of get out the way and do what he gonna do, you know, And if that's, fight Jaron Ennis and fight Ennis down the line, if it's, fight Charlo and get out the game, or whatever it may be for him. When it come down to Errol Spence and Jaron Ennis, that's going to be a very, very interesting clash of fan bases. A lot of those Jaron Ennis fans, seem to be pro Errol Spence, but it's going to be funny when the time comes and Errol Spence started treating Jaron Ennis like he treated Terence Crawford and started buying time and shit and doing all that funny shit. It's going to be interesting to see, with all them pro Errol Spence views from Philadelphia and some of the Jaron Ennis fan base, what it's going to turn into. It's going to be real interesting. Real interesting. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these niggas is emotional, bro. And that's the crazy thing about it. Everything they do is emotional. And it's fine. I don't have a problem with being emotional. I talk about this on my other channel about football, how a lot of people want to make business decisions on emotions. And that's one thing I respect about Bill Belichick. He don't make no decision off emotions. He make his decisions off of facts and off a system that he got. Once you get to a certain age or he see you declining, man, he just gonna trade you, and plug and play. It's kind of like Gronkowski when he wanted to go play with Tom Brady. The Detroit Lions told Barry Sanders, "Oh, you want to leave? No, you can't leave and go break the rushing record with Miami. We gonna shelf your ass. You gonna retire and play for us." Bill Belichick not carrying that emotion. He like, fuck it, I'm gonna cash out Gronkowski for what I can get for him. That can help us better off, and that's kind of the mindset that you got to have. Especially if you training, especially if you betting financially, or you betting with your reputation, or you picking a fight, you can't be emotionally attached, bro. You can't. Like I said, emotions only kick in when it's a dead heat, when it's dead even right down the middle. But it's gonna be very interesting to see when that time come, or if that time come, which I believe, win, lose, or draw, don't happen at all. I see that time coming at 154 pounds, 47, whatever it may be. It's gonna be interesting when that time come. Let's see what they start sounding just like Terence Crawford and Terence Crawford fan base was. And it's just always been about, we just want to fight. Ain't nobody start throwing shots at Errol Spence until he started moving like a pussy. And that's just what it is. And people can deny the facts, whatever it is, he started sounding different. First it was given to me on the wrong side of the street, get a belt, then it became easy route, then it became business, and all these niggas that's quote unquote boxing aficionados, boxing coaches, boxing trainers, boxing managers, motherfucker, boxing accountants and all that type of shit, managers, all start co-signing that shit. But then try to turn around and act like they purists or they are historians and shit. Ain't no historians or no purists, with that marination BS. Ain't nobody with that, dude. When it's time to fight, it's time to fight. The money gonna come regardless. It's gonna be interesting when he start, holding Jaron Ennis and start playing, moving around Jaron Ennis and start doing little shit like that. It's gonna be real funny when the rabbit got the gun, it ain't gonna be no fun. And I'm just gonna sit back and I'm just gonna fucking enjoy the show. There's already people complaining about, they say Jaron Ennis can do everything and he can't do no wrong. Well, they did the same thing with Errol Spence. Adrian Broner went through the same thing. Lucas Matisse, that's boxing. That's boxing. Paul Williams was that at one point. That's just the sport of boxing. He's a phenomenal talent, no doubt about it. And he continues to blow past the eye test and blow past the test that he been put in the ring with, the physical test. Only time will tell. But you can't sit there and box with that dude neither. You got to go get him. You let him get in the groove, man, you might as well forget it. But when that time comes, when them fan bases start clashing, that shit gonna be funny as hell. Mark my words, that shit gonna be funny as hell. But I have never seen a black fan base hate a black fighter more than Terence Crawford, or dislike him. I don't want to use hate. It's kind of hard. I ain't seen it before. I really ain't seen it before. But hey, you know how it go. I ain't, forget it. I can't tell you who to like, who to love. None of that. I really don't care. I just want to see the fights. That's it. I want to see the top elite level fights. I don't care. care about how much money. I don't care about none of that. I want to see the fight. That's it. I just want to see them throw down. You know? So, all that other stuff, I feel y'all on that. You know, y'all want to be emotional and mad and lie to yourself about some shit. At the end of the day, reckoning day gonna come one way or another. This is what it's gonna be. You know? But, you know, you can see why boxing is a falling sport. You can see why. So, thumbs up the video, man. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance of notification. We go live and drop a video. Financial and support the channel. Cash App, $CJGood313. Venmo, CJGood313. PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. You find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, I said it already, Anchor, whole nine, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal there. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Check out the, I don't know, welterweight playlist, boxing this one. I don't know. I don't mean I playlist this one, but hey, appreciate y'all. Peace.